Boy. That was a sweaty one, brother.
You just got to wait it out. Just got to let her play, baby.
Yeah. Good time for our boy Mike Jose, who's Brent know to mute his computer.
Oh, yeah. Mute that computer, Jose.
Dude, did you see that message that guy sent about the Spotify at night?
No.
So
No, I didn't.
there was a good lad out there. So thank you to this loyal listener. Hopefully him and his girl are being awoken to this right now. He said that his girl uses Spotify pods to fall asleep.
Oh,
his
boy.
Podcast, his Spotify is now synced up to their Alexa. And so in the middle of the night, she's getting hammered with the glam rock intro song to Leafs.
Are you a podcast sleeper, aren't you?
I'm a big podcast sleeper.
Yeah.
We're getting the score updated on boy. This Jose trading day. It's like going tough here. Just
give me a break. Boys.
Yeah. This isn't on you. This is on Joe. This is Joe's job.
But what's going on, buddy? How are you?
I'm good. I gotta say, incredible start for the Leafs in this game. Exactly what you wanted to see, right? They come out and they just start thumping the inferior team. They're putting to bed this Arizona group that, for whatever reason, has won every single game in Toronto over the course of Matthew Knies' lifetime.
I hadn't heard that.
You hadn't heard that?
No, I'm joking. It was on the broadcast. They literally said on the broadcast 48 times tonight.
Oh, I tune out, honestly. But yes, I know. I know it's a popularized stat.
Yeah.
But they start beautifully, man. But do you want to guess how many shots they had after the Morgan Rielly pinch?
A lot less than they did before that.
Take just a little a gander off the top of your head. A little shot in the dark.
16?
Oh, under, brother.
Okay.
Try again.
I have no idea.
How about
I'm done. How much?
How
Just
about
tell me.
10 less. Six
Really?
shots on goal that they landed after the Morgan Rielly pinch. That just tilted the game incredibly. All of a sudden, Arizona had life. I thought that they kind of smothered the Leafs for big parts of it. And I got to tell you, brother, we do narrative talk and we do game breakdown talk. The narrative around Morgan Rielly is getting hot. Guy needs a good game on Saturday night.
Regular season doubting Mo narrative is all the way back, buddy. It's all the way back. It's just funny after doing, the halfway through the second season of doing this show. It's much like the news where, we hit certain points of the season. We talk about the same things. You could run the same shows from last year. We're now entering the Morgan Rielly. Are we sure he's good portion of the season? Because
I hate it. I hate that portion.
He's been. I know it's my least favorite part of the season every year, where we dumbos come on here and go, "Oh, I'm not sure if he could win," and then he's their best player in the playoffs every year. We have to feel like idiots again. But God, back to back, not great evenings for 44 in blue and white. Not pretty tonight. Front row seat for both of the goals. Bad pinch on the power play one. No box out on the second. Oh, sorry, the shorthanded one. No box out on the second one. It's not pretty, buddy.
Well, the first one, though, listen, we'll get into some of the positives because the Leafs did win this game. And I'm sure the chat's going nuts going, they won the game. Can't you just enjoy it? We're getting our guy, Dave Vidini's hammering us every single time. We even mentioned a critique of the Maple Leafs right now. We got to enjoy the moment, according to Dave.
Okay, here's Leafs talk. Enjoy the moment. End of show.
Okay, so yeah, it's so true. But I really do think that the turning point in the game is this pinch because, again, Leafs ended up with 4 shots in the third period, okay? Like, one of those is an empty net goal. So 3 shots outside of a full-length goal from William Nylander. Let's go to this pinch because, we're going to start with Rielly. I think that he's the story of the game. It's 3-0. You've got a power play. John Tavares just drew one in the dirty areas. Tavares couldn't stay on his skates in this game. It was a tough one for him. He's going to be sore tomorrow. But just all you got to do is back up there and wait for the support of Nylander and regroup. it's just such a needless play from Riley. And I think that's just who he is. I don't want to over dramatize this.
Dramatize?
But no, I can't do it. I can't say anything.
Scrabble? Scrabble score?
I wonder if it's in his head a little bit now, and he's pressing.
That like they were so good defensively without him. Is that what you mean in his head, or just that he struggles in the regular? Like, what's in his head?
Yeah, he had the -4 game yesterday. He's got this one. I just wonder if he's got it a little bit in his head going, listen, I'm never going to be the defensive stalwart of this team, but the way I'm going to contribute is by stacking the points. And yeah, this is 2 games in a row where he's made a pretty tough error in the offensive zone. One was a puck watch in the last game. This one was a bad pinch. Yeah, I just wonder where his head's at a little bit. I think it's a fair thing to ask.
I think it's fair too. I also think it's game 50, whatever, and they're in a playoff spot, and I don't really want to have this convo right now, but it's relative. It's a relevant one at this point. Like, it's just we're just back around again. We're revisiting it, and it just feels like he goes through these stretch. Oh, we're revisiting, baby. It's just through these stretches, these stretches of these regular seasons. It always happens with Morgan Riley, where we have these question marks and the playoff starts and he's dynamic. So we're banking on that again, but it's not been pretty for 44 for the last couple games. That's for sure.
Nope. Just in general for the team though, too. It felt like as soon as it was 3-1, they completely tightened up and stopped playing their game. And Keefe started to mess with the lines and mess with Mitch Marner. And it I hate that when good teams start to play prevent defense, and that's what the Leafs did, where it's just, hey, try to keep it to the outside, don't give Arizona any good grade A chances inside, don't get beat in transition, and just leave guys back, play super conservative. And it feels like this happens so many times where the other team gains momentum, the other team gets to feel the puck. Like, Arizona had not touched the puck. Shots were 20-14 before the Kerfoot goal, and they finished with Arizona having far more shot attempts, more shots on goal, more puck possession in the offensive zone. Just stick with your game. Like, don't revert to bad habits.
I just take it as that this is a spooky, haunted matchup, and the ghosts almost came back out. Like, it really did feel like they were going to lose that game, and it was going to be like the curse of the Kachina. That like, what was the episode of The Simpsons with the space cowboy or the space coyote, where he's like delirious and he's in the desert? I was like, that's what I feel like this is. Like, they're going to come back, they're going to win this game, and this streak's going to keep going. It's just, it felt like a team that, like you said, it's just they took their foot off the gas. They stopped playing their game. I think they kind of felt it, that they're like, oh my God, we can't blow this. And I think they got a really solid, quiet, good goaltending performance from Joe Woll that really kind of put your heart at ease a little bit. But yeah, they completely stopped playing in the second half of this game. Basically, there's 2 games, and you've outlined it: pre-Kerfoot breakaway, post-Kerfoot breakaway. And those are the 2 different games.
Breakaway. I was enjoying it. I actually, you know what's funny? I'm not even kidding. In my head,
in the third. I guess they probably had 5 or 6 of those in the last minute or so, but yeah, they tilted the ice in the last period for sure.
Yeah, I don't think they had that many in the final minute. They had a couple that Woll made that were good deflections that he got in the corner, but yeah, it was a pretty dominant third period from the Yotes. And with the first half of the game, it's funny because the thought I had in my head was, wow, this is going to be potentially one of the first Leafs where we don't even mention one solitary negative thing, because they were pitching a perfect game.
Yeah, they were slow start. They didn't have neither team had any shots in the first 10 minutes, but then they just took control of the game, and it was a whitewashing. They couldn't touch them. It was just one team very good, one team very bad.
Totally. But here's the thing. I love a slow start when you've got Joe Woll back in the net and you want to ease him in. The worst thing they could have done is try to play some run and gun style and force the kid that's just come off of IR back up against the Arizona Coyotes, where they're peppering him with shots in transition, forcing him to make athletic saves. I liked Woll tonight, by the way. I thought he was great.
Buddy.
He's, again, quiet in the net, killing a lot of pucks. Good. Rebound control was awesome tonight, positionally solid. And the goal he gets beat on, the Kerfoot one, that's the Marner, by the way. That's the breakaway where you start to cut against the grain and then you flip the puck toward like a little soft area by the glove and it goes in the net. That's the Mitch Marner goal.
When did he learn to do that one? I guess from Mitch, but that's the softest hands he ever showed. In the last minute, the last minute. He was beating it to a square. Like he couldn't do anything in the last minute. It was classic Kerfoot. But that breakaway, I was like, oh my God, what a move. I never saw that one. That's a new trick.
I had the same thought. I was like, buddy, where was that in the million attempts that you had in Toronto? All of a sudden you've got silky hands and you're turning off, like you're doing the against the grain little puck flip towards the goaltender's glove. Very nice. But yeah, I think that one I am kind of calling the Mitch. I've seen other guys do it all around the league, but yeah, the Leafs do get that goal quite a bit. And Mitch Marner, I think, is the one that started doing it, or at least the first guy that I kind of remember sort of like patenting it. But yeah, I like Woll. I think this is a great start for him. I will say this. To me, it doesn't start any kind of goaltender discussion about Saturday night, though. Like, you're rolling with Samsonov, no question.
Okay. I guess so. I guess you don't necessarily need the points as much anymore. So I just think that
need the points. You think Woll is already the better option?
Absolutely. Buddy, he is a way better goalie.
The third highest save percentage in the NFL or in the NHL since he's come back. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but have you looked in February? Like, it's way down. I'm telling you, man, he's just way better. And they're going to clearly limit him. I understand it. He's coming back from a long-term injury. But I'm sorry. I'm telling you right now, the only thing, like, he is clearly very good. And the only thing that really worries me is injury. And it's a clear worry. And every time he goes down, I'm, a little tight. You know what? It's a situation where, like, every time he stretches, every time someone goes near him, I'm concerned. But there's no question who's better here, man. Like, it's just, he's a better goalie.
What do you mean there's no question? The other guy has a far greater track record and literally has lost 2 games since he's returned. And again, has the third highest save percentage in the NHL, including one of the highest high danger save percentages in the NHL during the same streak. Like, he just lost 1 game, the first time that he's given up more than 3 goals in a start since, again, returning. Like, I certainly don't think it's like some definitive thing that Joe Woll, who has a handful of starts and who's solid and who I really like and who I think that has a very, very high upside, is better than Samsonov. Like,
we're just gonna go in circles here.
I don't even
disagree.
How you can make a case.
Because I watch hockey and he makes me feel better. Like, he just looks better. He feels better. He's more solid. He's not flying around the net. He's a better positional goalie. To me, he's a better goalie. And when I watch the games, I feel way more confident with him in the net than I do with Samsonov. And the numbers have been good for Samsonov for sure. But they've gone the other way since that stat with the All-Star break. Like, in February, it hasn't been as good. I'm just saying, I feel better about Woll. I do. Yeah. I don't know if I didn't think that was going to be a controversial take. I thought he looked awesome.
I think, though, that's more, of course he looked awesome. That's, again, this isn't taking anything away from him. I just think that the higher upside guy to me is still Samsonov. And you don't want to mess with Samsonov's head right now. You're clearly keeping Woll as the B goaltender for now. I would guess that it's going to be closer to a split than one would imagine, but as long as Samsonov plays well and the Leafs are winning hockey games, you're keeping him as your 1A. The question is still going to remain, to me anyways, what is the leash going to look like? Like, if Samsonov has a poor game on Saturday night, they're clearly going to go to Woll, and if he plays well, is he able to steal it? Like, that's the only question to me right now, is how much they play the hot hand. We talked about this at a different point in the season, but it's like Keefe tries to win regular season hockey games. He doesn't screw around. He's going to, as the second Samsonov slides, he's out of the net. And so I wouldn't imagine it's going to be very long, regardless of, his history with the mentals, his history with having no net to himself. But yeah, like, Woll to me was their, Woll was their steady guy.
Woll was their starting goalie when they got hurt, right? Like, he was playing the majority of the games when he got hurt. Then he missed 85 days, which is crazy. Yeah. It's a long time with a flutter puck off the sideboards that I still have no idea what happened. And then, Samsonov and Martin Jones fill in admirably. We don't really necessarily have to talk about how we got there, but by gum, we got there. It was a bit of an up and down. Back-to-back Martin Jones nights, Sammy down in the gulag.
84?
85 days. Yeah, 85 days. I know. Sammy in the gulag, Martin Jones back-to-back starts. But to me, you got your starting goaltender back tonight. And he's the guy. And
in the playoffs, I think it's going to be Samsonov. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I think it's going to be the guy
we couldn't disagree more. Okay, let's virtual handshake.
Yeah, done. Yeah. Standard
handshake,
unit,
buddy. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Are we doing a farmer's bet, or are we actually putting something on this?
Oh no, buddy. I don't farmer's bet. By the way, speaking of betting, if you had the over tonight, RIP. Over was 6.5. Bertuzzi rung that post. All of a sudden, Bertuzzi's ringing everything in, and you got the over. It's 5 seconds left. He breaks out, and you're like, it was the first thing I thought of. I didn't have a bet on this game. I just was like, oh, that's the over, and clanged it, and I went, oof. that's a horrific beat. That is a horrific beat for him to ring it out.
I would like to say, though, that I did give out Matthew Nyes. Samdol is back. I'm back, just red hot again. Had a few good picks in the last week. So gave out the Matthew Nyes pick on the show today, and then Borny stole my thunder on regional television.
That's okay. That's what the big dogs do.
They chew the puppies. Chew them.
Not to disparage the dead, because I'm a big Robin Williams fan, but Gordon's kind of like Robin Williams, where he's going in the comedy rooms and he's watching the young comics work and he's seeing their act, and then he leaves and he takes it to HBO. He does a big special, and the other comic lives a life without ever being known. And Robin Williams is known as a great stand-up comic.
Wow. I prefer his movies to his stand-up comedy.
Yeah, for sure. But
I love his movies.
It's like him and Mencia are the two like big time jokesy. And then what's his name? Dane Cook.
Oh yeah.
Louis did
that great episode of Louis where he like confronts him about it. It's like one of my all-time favorite television episodes.
It's a phenomenal one.
Really
okay, so the positives. Before I do the Marner goal, because it's just spectacular, it's beautiful. I gotta say, fourth line,
awesome,
bringing me around, like kind of dragging me by my hair and going, I like these guys. Ryan Reeves.
There's room on Reeves Island, buddy. There's room on Reeves Island.
I would like to paddle over.
Come on over, baby.
He's playing a heavy game. He's getting pucks in deep. He's grinding on guys. He's scrapping tonight. I went, this is the experience that I was hoping to sign up for. I'm loving it. But they kind of feel like they're putting together a bit of an identity.
Absolutely. Where Holmberg, to me, is a straw that stirs the drink for that line. Like, I think we talked about Kampf in terms of how much better he was when he had like Pierre Engvall on his line. Remember that whole like narrative with him last year when he got so much worse when Pierre Engvall left? To me, this guy is like a better version of Pierre Engvall, where he's just a little heavier, but he can still skate. He can still carry the puck. He digs out pucks. He's just, there's something about him that I just feel is really fun to play with in terms of just his strength. And Reeves knows what he's doing out there. He's cycling the puck. He's going to the front of the net. He's playing hard. And like the hit that I don't know who he hammered, but he hammered him, shoved him down, and then that O'Brien goes in there to scrap him right off the next. That's a great hit, shoulder to shoulder, separates man from puck. Ref has to blow it dead, and then immediately those two go. And God, I love hockey fights.
I hate the ref blowing that dead, because I just wanted it to be, that clip from Jerry D's show, Mr. D, where he's playing floor hockey with the little kid, and he gives the kid the shoulder. He's just taking it's underneath him. It's underneath him. That's all I was picturing there. Reeves, the last thing you would want to be is on the ice as Ryan Reeves is just standing on top of you, digging his stick into your guts and trying to fish a puck out. I wanted it to continue, but no, you're right, dude. He's been playing a heavy game. He's been chipping pucks towards the net. I hope he keeps fighting. It sucks because Rempe's not going to be playing on Saturday night. Apparently, he's week to week.
Really?
But yeah. And he couldn't fight Reeves with that face. Anyway.
He's got a potato face right now. It's just it's unacceptable.
He's not scrapping this guy. I want to say too about this fight. If you watch this swing there, no wait,
right here.
Yeah, he almost kills O'Brien. That one, he just misses that. Yeah. If that connects. Yeah. Fighting in hockey might no longer exist.
Yeah, because we might be having a way more somber show than we are right now. Yeah, because the game may have stopped.
Yeah, and we got to go. It's bad. It's really bad. And you and I, as proponents of fighting, guys who love fighting, guys who absolutely hate all the crybabies crying about Matt Rempe right now. Like, there's nothing worse than social media that maybe just shut down than everyone being like, he's just a kid. Ryan Reeves almost ended fighting and almost had to make me change my tune on the entire thing. And I would have had to be like, you know what? I agree. It's over. I agree. Can't have Ryan Reeves killing guys. So thank God he missed.
Not just a sniper anymore. still very tough. Like
Yeah.
very tough. He went in there and he was chucking haymakers. I thought like none of them really landed. Like you said, he missed that one, few glancing blows, but he
So
scored the
strong.
takedown. Yeah, he scored the takedown, landed one on top of the head. Clear win for Reeves. Big Sally, points at the arm, crowd's going nuts. Boys on the bench love it. That's hockey, baby. It was awesome.
Hey, guess what? Love hockey, buddy.
Same, me too. Like that's hockey that I grew up with.
That's
like
hockey.
Just boys flexing, guys loving it. Hockey.
Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Especially some guy with a big beard named O'Brien. So
that guy was an extra in Slapshot, bud.
Yeah, he's straight out of Goon. O'Brien is he's just a character on the way to the belt for Ryan Reeves.
Yeah, he looks like he's in Shoresy, bud.
Yeah. So the Marner assist in this game is just
beautiful. Signature.
One of my
Oh, am I frozen or is JD Bunkis frozen? I can't tell. You were frozen for a second. This is the first time for a while. I don't know. You're still smiling. Can someone type in the chat if it's me who's frozen or JD who's frozen?
Frozen. I don't look frozen. Am I frozen?
You're maybe back. Oh, you're back. You're back.
I'm back. Okay.
You're back. Am I back?
Is everybody back? Can we get the thumbs up from the production team? Yeah. Okay.
Yep,
so we're all back.
Beautiful.
All right. Well, that was a little sketchy. Okay. So this is actually one of my favorite plays the entire season. Like the little look back to see where he is, and then the hesitation move, and then just leaving on a pillow for what was that? What number assist was that for him? This 50th of the year.
50.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, I forget the stat that they had earlier in the game, but he's done. I think it's like that's his 5th straight 50 assist season or something, and he's like only one of 5 guys that have done that, or no, maybe not even that many. I forget what the number is. Great job by me. Great stat that I just absolutely nailed.
What a numbers guy. That's why people come to this show, bro.
I gotta look it up.
The numbers guy.
Okay. I can't look it up. Jobo, look it up.
About Mitch, and this is gonna piss off fans big time. So I think he's the only guy in the NHL that has, and he's not him, obviously. He's not even close. I watched him score the game winner last night in overtime where he just put his team on his back after a 2-minute shift in OT, and he rips down the ice and he buries the Blues. But there's just that little bit of Connor McDavid to his playmaking. You know, like those two guys have a little bit of the same flair, and just the pillowy touch, the space that they can create, and the creativity of the passing. I think that it's just Kucherov's definitely – I just think Kucherov's different than those two guys with the ways that he makes plays. But man, they got a bit of a similar style with some of the playmaking. That's all I'm going to say. It's the closest thing of the comparison. I'm not trying to say he's anywhere close to McDavid. McDavid is the best player on planet Earth by, I think, a wide margin. But you know what I'm saying? Like he's got the kind of closest thing to him. Playmaking.
Like McDavid has all the tools elite.
Yeah.
Like every tool he has is elite. But Marner's playmaking is just about like it's on the same level. Like he's not going to have 100 assists like McDavid might, and everybody's talking about it. But he sees stuff. His vision is a top 3, top 4 vision in the league. The stuff he sees before other people see it develop. It's amazing. And so there's 3rd Leaf in history with 5 career 50 assist season with Daryl Sittler and Boreas Salming. Pretty good. Pretty good. Those guys are good. Yeah.
Can I tell you one little confession though?
Oh, but these are my confessions.
First of all, I'm such a chicken because I said that caveat so many times. So like, I'm not saying he's like McDavid. I'm so afraid.
I know. Like, Oilers Twitter coming for you, baby.
I just don't want anybody to misconstrue my words. And
I know.
I'm just like shaking in my boots talking about McDavid. But Leafs, our original 6 franchise, they got a lot of cups before there was more than 6 teams. They had, Sittler and Borey are great players. Not like whenever they do the Leafs lists of like, and he's here on the Leafs list, I'm like, yeah, who do you beat?
The top end is pretty good.
Yeah.
The depth, not so much. There's a reason we haven't won a cup since my dad was 12 years old, bud.
Thank you. It's just the way we talk about it sometimes with these guys where it's like, God, they're going to be the highest scoring Leafs of all time. Like, yeah, they got to beat one guy, Sundin. We had one guy for forever, and that's it. Like,
I know.
It's really not that crazy, just despite the organization being around for anyway. I had to get off my chest because it's one of those things where they're like, he's 3rd, he's fourth, he's fifth. And I'm like, yeah, okay. It's like
it was
the Raptors
David's numbers when he's like, he's passing Gretzky and Yari Curry. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah,
like,
that's pretty good.
God.
That's pretty good. But yeah, it's just, yeah, modern day. I would think that passing Leafs guys on the depth would be one of the easiest franchises since 67 to leapfrog the numbers. Like we kind of treat it like we're Montreal, and it's just, it's not, It's not anyway, that's enough. That's enough badgering the boys. But yeah, that's it. Keefe says that Gio suffered a head injury, and they don't know when he's going to be back. Pretty tough crash into the boards. He jumps up in the play. He's trying to make a play early in the hockey game. And for a guy who's a warrior like that to go off and need help off the ice, I think it pretty much told you it's significant. I actually treat Gio like the crybabies treat Rempe, where I'm like, he's 40 years old. Somebody protect him. Like I go the opposite way with him. That's a hard hit to take as a 40-year-old man, dude.
Brutal fall. Like, look at that. Like, and he is.
I hate it. Honestly, wish we didn't even play the replay.
I know, capital W warrior. Guy never he blocked shots. He broke his hand. He stayed out there for the rest of the shift when that happened. Blocks every shot. Yeesh.
Hate it.
Yeah.
Yep. Awful. So
did you want to mention what Jobo just put in there?
I don't think. Yeah, we'll see. I'm doing that on my show tomorrow.
Okay.
I will say this. So, we can mention it. It's like Friedman just said that Lyubushkin was pulled from the Ducks lineup, and that the Leafs and Ducks were in discussions for him. I think to me, like I'm gonna do this on my pod tomorrow, JD Bunkis podcast. I have LaGreca tomorrow, which I'm really stoked about. I got Ramona Shelburne.
Really?
Yeah,
Don
I got
LaGreca?
Yes,
that is sick. What a get.
I know. I'm really excited for Don LaGreca. Like,
you better come right, buddy. You gotta be ready to rock.
Come on, dude.
I know.
I'm
just
me,
saying, buddy. That's a big one.
Yeah, it's a big. I also just recorded with Ramona Shelburne, and we did a lot of what ifs on LeBron and Curry with her reporting, which is really fun. So if you're a basketball fan, tune into the podcast tomorrow, subscribe and review. I think I was watching Dumba tonight because he had the quote before the game of Toronto tried to engage with me, and now to me it does feel like the Leafs are landing one of Lyubushkin or Dumba, and I got to tell you, I don't mind it. I know people like to crap on Dumba, but it's 1 year, $3 million, and he upped his game last year in the postseason. Wouldn't cost you too much. I do think that he's one of those guys that's a bigger game player, despite you play for the Arizona Coyotes. It's kind of like playing for the Ducks. Same with Lyubushkin, right? It's hard to get a good judge of what guys are. I've been historically a fan of Dumba's game. So I don't hate it. I really don't hate it. Do I think it's a perfect fit? Do I think he's the best? But if you're telling me that you can get Dumba or Lyubushkin for, what the Leafs actually have, which is, I think, something stupid, like 6 picks from round 4 to 7.
No picks.
No. I'm saying they have a bunch of picks in the later part of the draft.
Oh, yeah.
They've got 5 or 6 picks from round 4 to round 7. I think they have 2 7s, 2 5s, something like that. If you can parlay a bunch of those together and grab a Dumba or Lyubushkin over giving up your first plus something for Chris Tanev,
which I wish I would have done for sure.
I know you would have. We disagreed. You and I texted about it for an hour.
We don't need to get into this because you've heard a million things, whatever. But I've seen Lyubushkin. He's fine. It's just he's fine. It's fine.
Both guys are fine. But guess what? When the Leafs went out and got Luke Schenn last year, the thought was he was going to be the 7th D.
Yeah.
You just need to balance out the lineup. You don't need to go get a superstar right now. I would just rather you keep the assets together. And when an actual impact player comes around, you can parlay the pieces that you have and try to go out and get that guy that fits. I just didn't like moving one of the only 4 or 5 significant assets you have in the next 3 years as of right now, moving in for a guy who's 34 years old and had absolutely no guarantee of re-signing here, and definitely wasn't re-signing here on the cheap by all the murmurs, by the way. Some of the murmurs were that he wasn't taking a haircut to be a Toronto Maple Leaf. So
yeah, they have lots of cap space next year, so they'll need bodies.
Try to get them.
The last thing I wanted to bring up,
Dumba, by the way.
What'd you say? Lyubushkin over Dumba?
Yeah, slightly.
That's more. It's definitely a reputation thing for me. where Dumba, like, I think is sicker in
More
my
of a
mind. And I like him, and I like what he's about. He hits guys hard, shoots it hard, but like, they're probably very similar guys.
Yeah.
Honestly, they're
I
probably
think
very similar.
Dumba has more of a
offensive.
chance at getting a big goal in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think Lyubushkin, where he's at right now in his career and the
Mhm.
track record, is a little bit more solid. You know what you're getting from him. Anyway, we've run long this one. I can't believe it's 30 minutes.
Last thing I had, very, very, I don't know if this is a stupid observation, but the thing that I love most about watching Austin Matthews score goals at the NHL level is how easy it looks, how easy he makes it look. And that goal tonight, where Nylander, great pass from Nylander, who was absolutely smoking hot, on fire, playing so well, 3 more points tonight, but he finds him perfect slot. And like, he makes this look so easy. Cradle behind him, like, just being easy, top corner. He just makes goalies look so stupid. It's just such a treat when he's on like this. And he's at 53 now, on pace for 74. I guess when you score almost 60 goals before the end of February, I know it's a leap year, you're obviously making it look pretty easy, but God, he just slings it up in the corner off the back foot, makes it look pretty, bud, makes it look easy. I love it.
No, just, the only thing I'm actually glad you brought up is I thought Nylander was awesome in this game. And even when the Leafs went into crap mode, Nylander was still good and dangerous in transition. And just, he had it tonight. He was the Nylander that we've grown accustomed to, of just feels dangerous every single time he has the puck in his creating space. But the thing about that play is like that, I think it gets tipped. Like it gets
the shot.
No, the puck, as Nyes tries to make the play across, a stick touches it, and it's like a bouncing, ugly puck. And it's like a soccer play. You know, when they do the ball gets nailed in and somehow they got like the magnet foot where they're like, bing, and it's the touch. And you're like, how can a human being do that? That's sort of how I felt with the pass right back to Matthews, where I'm like, how did he just collect that bouncing puck and settle it and fire it right over to Matthews perfectly onto the tape? It was nasty. It was a good pass, like underrated pass.
Yeah, he's got the touch of Matty Longstaff, who's now joining the TFC ranks, but he's got the same touch. Yeah, so
Longstaff?
I don't know. Maybe that's not it.
No, that's not it. That's the movie.
What is it? No, I think that's his name. It is. No, it is Matty Longstaff. It's Matty Longstaff. It's a hell of a handle.
Boy. All right.
I was already greasing the TFC boys about a good chant that we could get going with that. There's some fun to have with that one.
I think there's some. Yeah, everybody's excited for TFC season to start. It's gonna be fun.
Oh, I am literally the only guy.
It's gonna be great when they finally get underway and they start playing games.
They played on. They got a big away point in Cincinnati. Best team in the league.
It should be soon. It should be soon, right? It's coming around the corner when TFC starts their season. Anyway, subscribe to the podcast. By the way, I got to say this quickly. Listen, iTunes, we're tops in the charts, and we've only got a couple hundred reviews. Be better. Like we know what the numbers are. We can see the numbers. We see how many of you are just not banging the 5 stars. Just do it. It takes 1 second. Leave a nice little review if you care to do that too. It just helps people find the podcast. It actually means a lot to us when you do it. So follow us on Twitter and Instagram at JD Bunkis, at Stanley McKee, and hit the thumbs up on YouTube. And I will see you on Saturday night with Justin Bourne. You're off. Me and JB on Saturday against the Rangers.